Hello, my name is Martina, and in this video I'm going to talk about how I tracked my ovulation while trying to conceive with PCOS. So just a disclaimer, I am not a professional or a doctor, so this is just my experience. Hopefully I can help you through your journey or give you some advice, but definitely do your own research. So the first method that I used to track my ovulation was tracking my basal body temperature. So how do you track your basal body temperature? To do that, you need a basal thermometer, something like this. This is the one that I used and I got it on Amazon, so I'm sure it's really easy to find one. It's important that the thermometer you buy has 2 decimals because otherwise it's not accurate enough and you will not be able to track your temperature very accurately. How do you track your basal body temperature? Basically, you wake up in the morning and before you do anything at all, you stick the thermometer in your mouth, under your tongue, and take your temperature. It's really important that you don't do anything before taking your temperature, like drinking, getting up, going to the bathroom, because that would alter your readings. So basal body temperature is mainly a way to confirm ovulation. It is not really helpful in detecting your fertility or when you are about to ovulate. For me, it was important to confirm ovulation because having PCOS, I was having very irregular or I would say absent periods. So, and because I was doing a letrozole treatment, it was important for me to know if and when I ovulated. Basically, how it works with basal body temperature to confirm ovulation is that every morning you take your temperature and write it down exactly how you see it on the thermometer. So you can write it down on a piece of paper, or I use the health app on my iPhone. There is the cycle tracking feature and you can write down your basal body temperature as well. So you can clearly see your different temperature readings day by day. I think it's also important to take your temperature more or less at the same time every morning because the readings could be very different if you take it at, I don't know, 5 a.m. compared to 9 or 10 a.m. So what are you supposed to see to know that you ovulated? You're supposed to see a rise in temperature. Now this rise can be very different from woman to woman. In my case, I would see an increase from about 36.4 degrees Celsius to 36.7 or 36.8, and this rise is supposed to last for about 10 days. It will probably drop right before you get your period. You can maybe look into this, but from what I read and listened to, how long this rising temperature lasts will also be an indication of your progesterone levels. If this rise in temperature doesn't last at least 10 days, it might be an indication that you have low progesterone. So in my case, it would last 10, 11, 12 days and then I would get my period. So this method is used to confirm ovulation. It cannot tell you when you're about to ovulate. It's the only method that will absolutely with certainty confirm ovulation. The other method that I used to track my fertility and ovulation was looking at symptoms. So again, symptoms will vary from woman to woman. In my case, I would get really sensitive nipples before ovulation and fertile cervical mucus. This should be pretty common for women. Fertile cervical mucus is a way for our body to tell us that we are fertile. This is that this is our fertile window, and it's really hard to describe how fertile cervical mucus looks like, but in my case I could clearly see the difference from my normal cervical mucus or discharge, because first of all it was a lot more and it was very clear and very stretchy. So it was very different compared to the milky white discharge that I would normally get. So when you have this fertile cervical mucus, that is an indication that you should have sex during that time. I think I read or saw somewhere that the role of this mucus is actually to bring sperm like up your cervix. It's not just there to tell you that you are fertile, but it also actually has a role in helping you get pregnant. What else did I do? I tried ovulation tests because my fertility doctor told me to use them. But if I'm being honest, they didn't work for me. And based on what I've read, I don't think they work for most women with PCOS, because I had higher than normal levels of LH, which is a hormone, and this is very common in women with PCOS. And most ovulation tests will work by detecting an increase in levels of LH to signal ovulation. But if your LH is already really high, the ovulation test may not be able to detect this rise in LH. This is not true for everyone. I've seen videos of women with PCOS having a positive result on the ovulation test. So maybe try them, maybe don't. You do your own research on this. Which tests did I use? I used the clear blue ones that basically show you a flashing smiley face when you are leading up to ovulation and a static smiley face when you are ovulating. I never got the static smiley face, so I was always getting the flashy one, but I never got the smiley one, even in months when I know that I ovulated. So the tests for me were not able to detect the time when I was actually ovulating. So I personally would not use them again, just because it can be really hard on your mental health to see that this is not happening, and maybe it is actually happening. Another use for basal body temperature could be actually to detect pregnancy, and I tested it on myself and it did work on me. Basically, when you are pregnant, obviously you will have the rise in basal body temperature because you ovulated. The temperature will stay high when you're pregnant, so it will not drop, and well, obviously you will not get a period because your progesterone actually rises when you are pregnant, so the temperature will stay high. Yeah, it did work. It did work for me. It actually allowed me to detect pregnancy as well. So again, maybe it doesn't work for every woman. If you want to try it out, yeah, that's it. Basically, this is how I tracked my fertility and my ovulation. These really helped me to conceive, as I am currently pregnant, finally. And yeah, that's it. I hope this video was useful. Let me know if you have questions. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.